watched it. It was on there, but I never actually like sat down and watched the shit. Although I think it is pretty funny. There are some scenes in that shit fucking hilarious. Dude.
Oh, dude, it's just like you said, just the quips and the one-liners are the best.
That's some of the best stuff, dude. They and all they drink is either what do they call it? She's like, she goes in the bar. She goes, "Do you have any water?" She's like, "Yeah, hold on, let me go see if I can find some." Comes back. Here's light beer. Here's the closest thing I can get to water.
The best part is it's always what's the word I'm looking for? It's always either Budweiser. Oh Jesus! It's Budweiser or whiskey.
That's it.
I mean,
and they're always drinking Jameson. No wonder why Jared loves this fucking show.
It's definitely like his like
their
wet
fucking
dream.
Show. It's their show.
And
I like how he keeps opening the beer with like stupid shit. He's like, "Hey,
what are you find?
The truck's fucked up, but hey, check this out." And he like opens it.
Opens up the seatbelt or the hood.
He goes, "Well, look at this, ready?"
They're fucking twist tops, buddy.
Like, oh, you found a new way to open a twist off, man. You should patent that.
Ooh, look at you, all fancy, huh?
Yeah.
Another Amazon purchase.
My brother bought it for me on Amazon, so I don't want to. It doesn't count.
It's still an Amazon
purchase,
purchase, regardless.
No, it doesn't count.
Why doesn't it count?
It doesn't count.
Fuck. I still gotta go to the gym.
That's fine. These are just
Go lift buzz. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fine. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yesterday I set a PR. I had a goal of for deadlift of 500 pounds. It didn't come in the time frame I wanted, but I did it twice yesterday.
Oh, really?
505. So at the end of the set, at the end of the 10-week routine I'm on, I'm supposed to be at 530. And that came off the ground so fast, I don't have a problem doing it. But arched a little bit, and a lot of it was my hand placement. Unfortunately, my coach is way stronger than me, pound for pound, and she yelled at me.
I know. I was here last night, and I was talking to Daniel about it. I'm like, yeah, this girl's pretty yoked, dude. And he's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, look, I saw the video. I don't know what she was. I think it was like 6'6" something or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but just like her frame, like her shoulders, and like everything when she goes to lift it. I was like, God damn, dude.
She's
she's
literally just.
Well, like,
she started
goodness.
She started in college, right? So we're the same age. So she started. I think she said like 19, 20, and progressed. And when she first started doing it, she was doing the physiques. So it's so different to see pictures of her then, because she was a fucking rail, like.
Super lean.
Yeah, lean. And like I think she said she weighed 110 at that time. And
well, that's you. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Fuck,
that's like your phone.
Weighed 110. And that's. I mean, to me, the physique challenges for especially are more taxing your body because you can lift what you want, but you're dieting constantly. You know what I mean? And you're doing so much, and then you're basically hydrating yourself to the point of fucking of explosion, and then you just cut out water to blow out, and then when you go to after you weigh in, then you rehydrate, and then you take all these sugars in, and just everything starts popping. So like diet wise, yeah, there's no way I want to do that, but that's how she started, and then she progressed into powerlifting when she came here because I go to Old School Iron here in Vacaville, which is what it sounds like. It's old school. There's no air conditioning, no heater. It's just traditional way of lifting. There's no fancy shit. I mean.
Just you and the barbell. Yeah, that's it.
And it's not a other places where after January 1st there's 500 people and then you can't get a bar. You're like, no, do you get the hell away? We're lifting, or do you jump in with someone? They're really cool. But so I started this back in February, basically out of boredom, and I've enjoyed it. I mean, I suck at bench, but the deadlift was pretty cool. But I figured out the other day I was bored at work. I was like, because. My cousin works out that gym too. He told me, pound for pound, Jesse's probably the strongest person in this gym. So I calculated it, right? I did the math, and I think it's called a Welch, basically, and that's just a calculation of what you are. Mm-hmm. But for her last competition, she deadlifted 435 at 160, benched 248 at 160, all 160 class. And then squatted 330. So I figured it out. Her deadlift is 2.6 times her weight, right? Mm-hmm. For me to match that pound for pound, I have to pull 671. I'm like, fuck, man, I got a long way to go. Like bench is like 390 something, and the squat is like 5. Like
that's always the argument. People say they're like, oh yeah, you're hella skinny. That's why you can do more pull-ups. That's why. Well, yeah, sure, that's a factor, but being strong is being strong. It's not like, oh, like, okay, you only weigh 125 pounds. Like, okay, cool, but if you're still fucking bench pressing, 220. It's still you're still almost doing, double your body weight. So it's like, I don't know. I think it's bullshit, but
it's coming down to things too. Like, you see powerlifters on TV, the strongman. Those guys, weight moves weight. If a guy weighs 350 pounds and he's training, he's going to be able to, deadlift 800-900 pounds consistently because that's what they train for. But I see a lot of people are starting to go to this, or reading articles and following channels on YouTube. People are starting with this weld thing where you don't actually have to be big. You just want to be as strong as you can at your thing, the pound for pound thing. You have the argument in fighting all the time, right? Who's pound for pound the strongest, the best of all time? And you go back and forth with it. And the pound for pound, I used to always think it was, how hard you hit someone or whatever. No, it's your weight class basically. If you're the best pound for pound. If you were to fight 185s and I fought 200s. If you were to come up there, we'd be pound for pound better than me. Well, yeah, because you've dominated your weight class and I've had losses, and that's all that stuff. That's all that is.
Right. But then there's arguments that say that who is the best fighter, hands down, in any division. And if they could go, if they could fight at that division or at that weight class, could they be the best? And there are fighters that are potentially like that, in this world. But
but that's the crazy part about it too, is like when it started. That's what it was.
Dude who fought Max Holloway, Volkanovski. Dude, that guy used to be 240 pounds. He's a rugby player. He's got thighs the size of tree trunks, dude.
And do you remember how
long
he
fights at 145? Like, what the fuck?
His arms are like down to his knees. I'm like,
bro,
what the fuck is up with this gorilla?
He must have been
motherfucker?
He must have been like a semi truck, dude, when he was that big. He must have just been a massive beast.
Will you pull up the pictures of the dude? I looked it up just because I wanted to see, like,
holy shit. I haven't seen the pictures, but he had to have been jacked.
Yeah, he wasn't really. I mean, he was. How do you put this? He was kind of round.
Kind of round.
I mean, he was bigger than square.
240. At 240, you're going to be kind of round.
But he's 5 foot. Only thing the dude's only 5'7", whatever it is, 5'6". I mean, what the fuck are you going to do about that?
That's like a Frank Gore, but like
like, But that's crazy too, because to run around at that weight for a sport like that, it's not like American football where there's breaks in between plays. There's timeout. Relatively long timeouts. Yours.
What do they call those? What do they call those big pits they get into? They're called
scrums.
That's what they're called.
Yeah. I mean, that's your slowest time right there, and you're doing something. Thinking at that point you got 11 on 11 sitting there just pushing against each other to get a ball out to pitch it to somebody. But that's literally, I don't know how long the actual game is. 60 minutes. That's literally running for 60 minutes. I think, back and forth.
It's all cardio. That's why he looks so impressive against him. So
now imagine doing
kudos
that.
To him, dude.
Imagine doing that at 240 though.
Fuck.
I mean, you see NFL linemen getting off the line, and
that's what's so impressive.
Breathing oxygen after after a couple series. You're like, Jesus.
Right. That's very true. But hey, you know what? Some guys can do it. Some guys have that. That's genetics. I mean, you can train your ass off. Like I know when I was working out, doing everything right and taking care of my body, I had really good cardio. I could, run and do all this stuff, and it was a lot of fun. But like, when it came to like actual cardio, like if I could go, the moment I went out in the field and tried to do like a 100-yard dash, dude, fuck me, I'd be gassed out like a motherfucker. It just takes a certain somebody, and that's after doing that, I'm like, yeah, there's some kind of genetic thing going on, because you could train your whole life. Like shit, yeah, you could figure it out. But there's just certain people in this world who have that genetic, makeup where they can just go 15 rounds or go 60 minutes without fucking a break, or lift a certain amount of weight. Man, that's all genetics. Something in there.
It doesn't help either. The bigger you are, the more muscle mass you have. Not because everyone has the same amount of muscle, right? Like, I don't have an extra bicep or an extra quad muscle because I'm 6'1", and someone's 5'4". You have
some guys have some weird shit too.
But you have the composition of your muscle. You're gonna take more oxygen in that muscle to pump it.
That's why your fast twitch versus your
slow twitch and all of that. But your blood's gonna take more blood and more oxygen to keep those muscles going. So that's why you'll see heavyweights after 3 rounds they're sluggish, and you see someone run around at 145 start freaking going 100
their
miles an hour.
Their arms alone probably weigh at least 100 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Like, boom.
But when they collide with something, they fucking destroy.
And that's the crazy part too, is like the progression of UFC, where forever it was 205 was the class to be at. You know what I mean? And then heavyweights were were the king of the ring, and then they started bringing these lighter guys in, and they developed smaller weight classes. I mean, I think it was 155 might have been the lowest weight class forever, and they started bantamweight, flyweight, whatever, and then now it's just whoever could put on a show in comparison. But it's just weird because now you don't. How often you see you see a heavyweight fight, and you're like, when's heavyweight gonna happen?
It's really cool about how far the sport's gone now. Now we're in a whole nother. Now we're in a different time now. It's more of an entertainment thing. It is a sport by all means, but now we're getting to this realm of entertainment now, to where they start making the fights that people want to see. Now there was a point during UFC where they made the fights that were right. They had the best contender before they had interim belts and shit, versus like the champion era. They had the best fight the best, and that was cool. And now we're doing this weird thing where we're like, hey, let's have this guy who
fight this guy
lost twice in a row fight this guy just because it costs us and makes us a lot of money. Which I get from a business standpoint how that. And hey, I wanted to see that fight too. Fuck yeah, that's the fight I wanted to see. That's why I paid for it.
But I think
they won. They won the battle on that one. But
I think a lot of that though.
But we're in that time frame now. That happens now. People want to see some shit, and you're like, oh well, hell, let's give them what they want so we can make some money.
Well, when was the last time McNugget fought? Before that, like a year and a half.
2 years, 2.5 years since he fought in UFC.
Okay, so regardless of if he's fought in 2.5 years, he's still your biggest draw. You don't think he had any saying who he was going to fight? Like he wanted to take an easy fight to get back in the octagon to knock some ring rust off. I mean, and I'm not saying Cerrone's not a bad man and he's never backed down from a challenge, but that fight was not advantageous towards him at all. That was definitely, he's not even a gatekeeper at some cases anymore. I mean,
in the comparison, he's obviously done some amazing things in the UFC, being the most winningest fighter ever, having the most finishes, having the most fight night bonuses. He has all these things under his belt. He's fought people like Robbie Lawler, Masvidal. He's fought everybody pretty much, man. RDA. He's fought almost everybody in the goddamn in the industry almost. I mean, besides obviously anybody else outside of his weight class, but he's fought a majority of the people.
He's never backed down.
He's always said yes. He's always said when, where, what's up, let's do this. And that's kind of that's what people know. That's why people like him so much.
Yeah.
But he's at a point now in his life where, I mean, this is obviously just my personal opinion, but where maybe it's time to just, hey, man, you've done everything you wanted to in your life, man. Go do what you love and spend time with your family and BMF Ranch, bro. Like, fucking, I don't know, start a show about what you do every day out there, man. I'd fucking love to watch that shit.
He definitely has.
But he did a
fun life that
he
lives.
Is that what it was called? Or?
No,
he
did
a thing about his training for this fight. He did a whole documentary about it. But like, I want to see a BFM Ranch fucking show. Like, I want to see like, hey, what are we doing today?
That would be.
We're gonna go out and we're gonna go fucking quadding, and after we're done quadding, we're gonna go back to the house and fucking cook up some shit. It would be so much fun.
Well, he did that.
So much fun.
He does.
I'd love to watch that shit.
He does cave diving.
Dude, he does everything. I just watched him do it. He was doing flips and shit on a fucking. Oh no, it wasn't flips. He was rock crawling with a fucking. What do you call those? Like those little crawlers, or whatever.
A rock crawling truck.
Jesus Christ, that guy is just straight up fucking.
He was telling stories how he almost died in the hole, and I'm like, you're worth millions of dollars. What are you doing fucking going cave diving, bro? Like,
that's his life, though.
I know. That's why he's the cowboy.
If he's going to go out, man, he's going to go out like fucking Steve Irwin did. And like I said, I love Steve Irwin, okay? And I hate to say this, like, if he's going out, he's going to go out doing something he loves, Like, if that happens, that happens, That's just the way the world works sometimes. But because he's such a wild animal, and I'm sure he's a smart guy. He's not going to go do something crazy. Remember all the shit he does? Yeah, sure. There's some
calculated risk in everything you probably
right.
Do.
But I think he's smart enough to know better. But at the end of the day, if that was the case, I don't think he ever put himself in situations like that. Because especially for his son and whatever his family and whatnot, I think he's a little smarter than that. But he does do some wild shit. So, Cowboy, you crazy motherfucker, man. You better take it a little easy, man. We like watching your fights. We want to see a fight again, but.
No, I think honestly,
I'd love to see your show though. I'd love to see you make a show about the BMF Ranch, dude. I'd watch the fuck out of that show every day. Be like, oh, dude, they got a new episode of the BFM Ranch, bro. You got to watch this shit.
I'm more interested in seeing fights
BMF
are like you said before, that are the popular fight, not just the fight they're going to line up because they want to.
If you wanted to, so let me ask you then. If you wanted to pick a fight that you think, not like by the public's opinion, not like, popularity thing. What fight would you want to make for?
I want a tournament bracket, bro. I'm over.
Oh,
it.
like a straight up fucking
tournament.
Bellator.
The guy who has the belt is just sitting on top, chilling for fucking a year.
So then everybody else is tournament
and
styles.
Tournament styles to get there, and then the baddest motherfucker got there.
They used to do that in Bellator, where they would just do all be in one night though. Like you would fight a whole tournament.
Well, yeah, that's how UFC did too, but it was just for one belt back then. But now you can break it up into a couple of events. I mean,
you fight like 3 times.
Yeah, what the hell? I mean, you're
some gangster shit.
You're getting paid to train it, but once you hit the top tier, guess what? You're done and you're the champ. I mean, I think there'd be no one like I said. And I think McNugget is literally picking fights out because he can, because he's the biggest draw. I mean, he got paid way more than Cerrone did. He probably made more than anybody on that card for 20 seconds of work, basically.
Well, he didn't make that money he said he was going to. He didn't make that $60 million or whatever the fuck he said he was going to make. That's not through the UFC, at least. He probably made a couple million through UFC, but not
like $3 million or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that fight?
Yeah, he made that much, but that's through the UFC. Now, remember, you take into account his whiskey sales, you take into account his
fucking Proper 12.
Yeah,
1.57.
I mean, like we here bought 2 bottles of that shit for the fight, so that's just us here. Like, what about the rest of the goddamn world?
He's a great salesman too. So he's a very good salesman. Like, have you ever seen the commercial for the wine that he made?
No, I never did.
Oh, dude, you got to YouTube that. It's priceless. It's April Fool's thing, but it is priceless because it's not wine at the end of it. But it's hilarious. But I mean, that's the thing though. He's gone to a different tier, and that's another thing too. These fighters don't make money like they used to. I mean, you used to be able to come back there with your banner full of shit all over your shorts, and then Dana goes, "Oh, Reebok only." Well, who's benefiting from that in the long run?
It's
the company is, because they're the ones paying it. They're not, the fighters are getting bonuses for it. They can't wear their own shit. It's damn near like the NFL. You go
even like now, you watch the old fights and they still blur out all this shit. You're like, man, fuck this, man, that's bullshit. Why can't we have your trunks be like a billboard, man? Why can't we go back to that?
Well, because, I mean, like I said, if the fighters were getting the same money they were getting through Reebok, I don't think they are. I think that the money is going directly to the promotion, and that's it. And I mean, it's probably distributed, but not as like it was if you came up and you were a top fighter, and say, what was that old one back in the day? The Mask was the guy. The dude died in a car accident.
Oh wait, you talking about WWE or whatever?
No. It was the dude was called Mask. There's 3 guys: a tall, crazy-haired guy, the Mask, and another friend. Anyways, they did all kinds of MMA shit, and I'm pretty sure those guys were just fucking dropping bread on the best fighters, and you earned it. So why did you care what they were making? Well, because Dana wanted his piece, and I think that's hilarious to me.
Ain't that the fucking truth?
I mean, hey, let me just make all the money and then not pay your fighter shit either.
Well, it's one of those industries now. Well, now fighters are starting to realize that they can make some serious money. So now they're like, hey, this is what I want. But then you have those variables where now you have to be able to attract a crowd. You have to be able to work, like, know how to be a entertainer. And a lot of these guys, like, A, either go over the top, or B, don't do anything at all, or and then they expect a lot more money out. And it's like, dude, you gotta. That's why this last fight, when I saw, Conor in the post fight conference, he didn't say anything bad about Cerrone at all.
I think,
and I was like a little kind of shocked in a way because. I'm a big. It was funny. I at one point, man, I talked so much shit about Conor McGregor because I was just pissed off, because he was. I liked just watching his fights, but at the same time, I don't like all the stupid shit he was, all the bad mistakes and all the horrible decisions he was making. So
throwing hand trucks through bus windows and
it was just immaturity and just complete utter lack of control. And as a fan, it frustrated me too as well. So, but then seeing him now come back out and having this different mindset, he's still Conor McGregor, but he's not the old cocky. Well, I shouldn't say cocky, old cocky. He's not the young dumb kind of like
he was just
kid.
He's straight arrogant.
He's 31. He's grown up a little bit.
I don't think it's really that he's grown up per se. I think there's a couple of factors. It's the situations that's been happening to him. He knows he has to be on his better behavior or he's going to lose money. One, he cares about his pocketbook. And I'll tell you the only reason why I think that was a couple months ago he hit that old man in the bar because he wouldn't take a shot that he bought him. I mean, literally, that's not the same person. Two, I think what changed a lot too was he's going against Cerrone, and Cerrone's not that guy. He's not going to sit there and talk shit with you. I mean, he might banter back and forth, but it's not like if he's fighting against Masvidal or Diaz, they're going to be jaw. Yeah. I mean, if he fights Diaz again, which they should for the rubber match.
They really should.
But regardless, that'll be the same shit. They'll be going to be talking shit. You know what I mean? I mean, it was like when he was sitting there, he's like, "You're a little bitch. You're a little bitch." I mean, because if you're from Cali, you get called a bitch by some people. You think or you're a gangster. You get mad at it. He was trying to fire him up, and I was like, "Oh God, here we go." But that's just their game. They're going to do. They're going to make it entertaining as possible. And I think he knew his audience at that point and who he was going against, and he could at that point isolated a lot of his own fans by disrespecting Cerrone in a shitty ass way, talking shit, especially after a fight like that where you dominated the guy. I think that was like a tactical response by him to stay up and then not isolate certain people and piss more people off.
I did like the fact though that Donald Cerrone's not a guy to kind of fuck with. He's a pretty real person. He's got a wife, kid. He's or his wife and kids now. I think he's got another one coming. But he's a real dude, man. And I recognize that, and that's awesome. But here's some things about him you just don't do. And that's one: you don't talk shit about my family, don't say shit about my son, and don't disrespect my grandma. That's like his thing. Yeah. And because he's like, I don't give a fuck about this fight, Like I'll lose $2 million and I'll fight your bitch ass in the parking lot. Like, like I don't give a fuck.
We'll make it a street fight out front, bro.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's real, man. That's real shit. It's a real fighter right there. I mean, a real man. He's like, dude, I don't give a fuck about this. This is like, I love fighting, but if you're gonna say some dumbass shit just to get popular, I'm gonna put some real hands on you and show you what life really is. And I'm not going to be some old guy at a bar who doesn't want to drink your whiskey.
I was, like I said, I was just surprised how quick it happened regardless. And people were like, fucking Stephen A. Smith saying Cerrone quit. I'm like,
that was a wrong move, buddy.
Got his fucking nose broke in 10 seconds. And you can see his nose go from here to fuck. And you're like,
and that's a big thing going on right now is the industry itself is allowing, not only are they having these judges judge a fight that don't even fucking fight half the time. They're having these guys come over, and that guy Stephen
A. Smith.
Thank you, Stephen A. Smith. He's a fucking knowledge when it comes to basketball. Such a knowledge, man. Such an amazing broadcaster. He has so much knowledge of the game and the players in the game, and I like that about him. But coming over to UFC and saying stuff like that, and then like he posts a video of him fucking throwing punches, and they're the most awfully horrible fucking throwing punch. Like you gotta watch it, but it's like him throwing a jab, and he's throwing downwards, and then he's going up like this, and it's like it's just awful. You can't say something like he gave up and then post a video like that, thinking something. That frustrates me. That's like, come on, guys.
This
like,
isn't.
What are we doing?
And this isn't.
What are we doing?
Boxing either. Like
I know. I don't fight. I'm not a fighter. That's why I stay the fuck out of like. I don't make sideways comments about fighting. If I was a guest speaker somewhere, I'd shut the fuck up and just let the guys who know what the fuck you're talking about talk about it.
And that's the thing, though. It's this new hip thing, and everyone's getting a piece of it, and that's another way. And he's accustomed in more traditional sports, like you said, basketball. He always comments on every sport, especially boxing and stuff like that. And I understand the premise when you say when a boxer quits, because you can see it quit. But this isn't boxing. You're not looking. In the 8th round because you got your ass whipped and you're fucking throwing a towel in or you're saying no mas or whatever's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Reality is, dude got his nose broke in 10 seconds and it rocked him. What are you going to do when you're rocked? You know what I mean? You're not getting hit by just these with 16 ounces attached to them. You're getting hit by 4-ounce gloves repeatedly hard as they can, and you're already rocked. You're done. That's the beauty about this sport. It just takes one punch sometimes, and before you know it, someone's asleep or done with. And to say he quit, no, dude was rocked and he couldn't do nothing about it. Mm-hmm. You get that? There's no 10 count.
Everybody's cool until they get punched in the fucking face.
There's no fucking, there's no standing 10 count. There's no, he went to the mat. Ref's going to separate you on a quarter, and I'm going to stand up. You 10 seconds, check your hands, make sure you're good, ask you a couple questions, make sure you feel strong again, and let you go. In that 10 seconds, you can recover a bit. As soon as that happens, it's happening.
Right. And I've always wondered, I've always had this, I've never been a fighter. I'm not a fighting type, but at the same time, you kind of have to wonder, what's going through their, brains because obviously, the adrenaline's going and, shit's happening or whatever. What's going through their brain when you're just getting fucking pummeled. Usually, when you get caught, you just, nothing happened. You just wake up on the canvas or, that being said, but like, what happens if you're in an instance where you're basically like, let's say you're fully mount, like some dude's on top of you, full mount, and he's just dropping elbows, dropping bombs. What's going through your brain? And at the time, I mean, to me, that's what I'm thinking. Like, fuck, I don't know what I would do. And I see a lot of these fighters get put in these situations, and then you get out of it, and they and they're just like, hey, would you like? I don't. He's like, I relied on my training. I didn't even think about it. Yeah. You don't think about it when you're getting hit.
It becomes muscle memory at that point. You're doing what you've been taught to do, and you'll see the fighters that are panicked at that point, that are less unexperienced, stuff like that. Like the dude, he just been. What's Askren? Remember
Ben Askren?
Askren, yeah. He retired. That was kind of weird.
Oh, he needed hip replacement surgery.
Oh, I didn't know
That's
that.
why.
Yeah, I just heard he had retired.
I mean, no, he needed his hip replaced, so he announced that his retirement. And he has done amazing things in his career. And Ben Askren, you're an awesome fighter, man. And we love watching you.
Sorry about that knee, bro. That was horrible.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but like I said, it's part of the game. So Ben, you made a huge impact on the sport itself. Yeah, it's unfortunate that you had to go out the way you did, but
you should have had at least 20 UFC fights, not been fucked off by Dana for so long.
But at the same time, it's part of the game. And it's unfortunate, but when you need a hip replacement, that's usually like the time when you go, it's time to move on. And he's an amazing coach too. So his love for the sport will not go away. He'll continue to train other fighters, and he'll still love the sport. Unfortunately, he won't be a competitor, but he will still be able to be a part of it. So kudos to him for doing what he loves, and
it was just crazy,
and still being part of it. Yeah, that was a crazy knockout too.
But we're going to my point was the fight before that. It was Lawler, right? It was just beating his ass.
Lawler. Okay, listen. He dropped him on his head, yes, and he knocked him unconscious, and then started to pound on him and did some damage to him. And then at that point, got into a bulldog choke, which clearly the referee made a mistake on, and Lawler was cool about it.
I don't think he made a mistake.
I think he read the situation the best way he could, and when he saw Lawler's hand drop, his instinct reacted, and therefore he called the fight. And Lawler was like, "What do you?"
That's the safest thing you can do, because what's going to happen?
Because what's the number one thing?
As soon as he's got that choke applied, and you're training, you're not trying to hurt somebody. This is a sport. You're granted, can someone get hurt? Yes. But you're not there to intentionally hurt somebody, to hold an arm bar. You're not there to choke someone out until they're dead asleep.
Right.
As soon as he's pulling, and he feels the limpness, he's going to let go for the safety of that fighter. And if he wasn't out for that long, as soon as he starts breathing again, he's going to come back too. We don't know if he was out for a second, 2 seconds, whatever the hell it was. But I think the ref did the right thing, because if he still continues to hold it and he's not out, or he is out and he could, be longer.
Right. Number one thing in this is fighters' safety.
Yeah.
And, Herb Dean made a call. And I like Herb Dean as a ref. He's done a really good job, and he's been really consistent. And he doesn't ever explain himself on things, because he doesn't need to. His job is to make sure the fighters are safe. And in that situation, he read that, one of the fighters wasn't safe, and therefore he made a judgment call. It's that simple. So
there's you can't question it. And like I said, my part I was impressed again was Askren, who was literally rocked to shit, probably temporarily out, but you couldn't tell at that time. Comes back from getting his ass handed to him and goes rudimentary as hell. I mean, when was the last time you saw a bulldog choke get someone in the UFC?
Oh man,
you see what I'm saying? Like,
I've seen it a couple times actually.
But recently, like it's
no.
It
was one earlier, but anyways,
you don't see it a lot, right? He went to his basics, his bread and butter, something he probably learned in college wrestling, fucking around with his buddies. That muscle memory takes over, sinks it, and just goes, all right, dude, at least I can recover, or he's going to choke out. You know what I mean? And that's what we're talking about when someone's taking that ass. What are you going to do? You go back to your basics.
Right. And then there's points where you don't even know how to, like, it's always, I always find it funny when, you sit there and you, like, watch the fight go down, and the guys, like, they throw, like, a weird choke or whatever, and the guy's just like, what is this? It's like when I first saw Darce choke. The guy had no idea what the fuck was happening to him, and then all of a sudden he's just unconscious and just like, what just happened? I think it was I don't know, I can't remember the fighter's name. But anyways, it was the first time I ever seen a Darce choke, and I was like, holy mother of God. Like, it comes out of nowhere, you don't expect it. It's just literally it slips right in there. The guy's like, what's this? Next thing you know, he's on his side and his fucking arms next to his fucking head, and he's just like, and it's just out.
Memes.
It's just those things. It's pretty cool.
Like I said, that's
craziness too.
The craziest
jiu-jitsu is no fucking joke.
The craziest of it is it's not just jiu-jitsu anymore. I mean,
MMA, man.
It's MMA, and like when I remember watching the first one as a kid, someone had it on VHS, and it was a fucking like literally a street fight. I mean, you had styles, but you didn't have, training to the point that they do now, where they're practicing stand up, they're doing wrestling.
I mean, those guys
you just had specialists in there, right?
Those guys got jacked, fucking roided up, fucking got jacked, went out there and fight,
kill them,
TRT'd up, man.
I mean, Shamrock. I think he was be honest with you, was like probably the real true beginning of what MMA is. He was a shoot fighter in Japan, which what I understand is a kind of a semi-boxing wrestling match type deal, whatever. Mm-hmm. And you train in multiple disciplines. He did ankle locks and shit. Like he wasn't just do his hands; he did everything. And then it changes and changes, and then before you know it, it's not just knowing one discipline; it's knowing two disciplines. I mean, you watch anything, especially from the early 2000s, and that's one thing you'd always hear. This fighter is a Muay Thai specialist. Now you're like, good the fuck lucky you got Muay Thai. That's cool, but someone's gonna take you down or hurt you the other way, and you just don't hear that no more.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
It's he's a mixed martial artist from. They used to literally tell you what specialty this guy was.
Yeah, that was right. I forgot about that.
He's a BJJ 4-3 black belt out of whatever camp, and you're like, oh, dope. Now it's not.
That's true. I forgot about that.
But that's the changing of it too. I mean, for me, watching it back in the day when it was just open tournaments, it was the best that night. It was whoever got their ass whooped. What was going to happen was what was going to happen. There wasn't no prediction per se. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why like when wrestlers started coming in, like Randy Couture and stuff like that,
Matt Hughes, all those guys.
Those guys started dominating because they had a good base of body knowledge, where they're moving, how to get around people, how to get off themselves as soon as possible to be able to do that. And then, wrestlers were key for a while. They were just doing everything because they could learn jiu-jitsu because it's basically the same premise, right? Your body positioning, going around, figure where you're at. And you see a lot of, especially smaller wrestlers, they can move off someone's body in a heartbeat, spin around circles on them before you know it, they're on your back. And you're like, what the hell just happened? And then it was a little mixture of everything else, and it goes and goes. And like I said, now it's no specific profession or perfection of something. It's you're an MMA fighter, a mixed martial artist. So everything's getting climbed. I'm pretty sure if you go to a camp now, you're going to spend, a couple weeks wrestling, a couple weeks doing this, or daily doing this, or daily doing that. I mean, if you're running an 8-hour camp, I'm pretty sure it's broken into blocks of everything. Right. You're doing boxing for 2 hours. You're doing jiu-jitsu for a couple hours. You're rolling for a couple hours.
And that's
wrestling for a couple
and that's
hours.
kind of the trick too, because at the same time, I've from hearing interviews and hearing back from the fighters that you have to do all that stuff together. You can't be too focused on one attribute, because what happens is you spend all your time striking. Go to your striking coach, you get used to striking, right? And then you go back to wrestling and you're fucking gassed. And you're like, all right, well, I need to focus more on wrestling. So you go back to your wrestling, and then you wrestle, get your endurance up, you're good, then go back to striking, and you're fucking gassing out. And it's like, how the fuck? So you have to have that kind of happy balance where you spend a little bit of your time throughout the training camp with everything, or while you're training for a fight, just so that you can kind of have all these things under your belt. I mean, God forbid, when I was trying to learn how to play piano, completely off topic, but when I was, I guess, in relevance to it, when I tried to learn how to play piano, I spent all this time learning piano, but I never played guitar. For like 2 months, I was really focused on trying to get that done. I go back to play guitar, man, and my fingers weren't the same strength they were before, because I spent so long getting them strong to do a certain task with like this way, where it was a completely different way of using your finger strength
pressure on the
versus
chords,
me playing this way. So I went to go play guitar, and I'm like, fuck, man, this is hard. What the fuck? And to add to what I was saying is like, yeah, these guys have to balance everything out. So the really cool part about it is when they are able to do that, and then able to implement it into their game plan, and then watch it like manifest, like watch it happen in a fight, because you're like, holy shit, like that's how much, like, these guys don't get that much credit for that. But holy shit, man. We watch these fights and we look at how like crisp they hit people, how when they swing, it's all one swift fluid. There's no wasted motion for when they're the top tier athletes. Everything is a perfectly flowing machine. Nothing's wrong. And it's like, you're like, oh, cool, that guy can fight. That's awesome. I'm like, no, dude, like that guy's like perfectly in tune, like with his body and his senses, and knows what he's doing. And I think that's really impressive. I think it's super impressive to have that skill You know, and I'm not saying hurting people is cool. That's not what I'm saying. But
if you're getting paid a lot of money to do something, I don't give a fuck what it is. It's cool.
Hey man, if you're really good at making dildos in a factory, you go make your fucking dildos, okay?
Be the biggest, blackest dildos you can, and sell them for every fucking penny you can. You are making someone happy. You know what I mean? If you're gonna do something, do it to the best of your ability. Right. Period.
And never do it for free. You know, never do it for free. Get paid for it.
Yeah, but if you really want to talk about the evolution, the evolution of it, like I said, we're talking about the early '90s to the 2000s, whatever. Mm-hmm. The perfect example of the changing right now, and you can see it in the same time frame that I talked about, that 20, 30 years, is the women's divisions.
They changed, man.
I mean, in less than 10 years.
Fuck. When did Ronda Rousey made her debut? What?
Well, before that, it was Gina Carano. Remember, she was just dominating every female in Strikeforce.
2013, 13 or 2014.
But like I said before her, it was Gina Carano, right? She came through and she was a fighter.
I mean like in UFC. I mean, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, and then you roll over to Cyborg, and let's just face it, Cyborg probably has a large penis underneath her trunks that she tucks in because that's what she looks like. And I mean, I'll just say it right now: steroids. Okay, fuck it, I don't care. That's my opinion. Fight me.
She got caught for taking some performance enhancing shit. So
exactly,
it is what it is.
And I think a lot of the Brazilian athletes, okay.
I think a lot of athletes in general have used it in the past. I think a lot of athletes throughout the years have used it before USADA. Oh my God. I think everybody at one point was kind of fucking around with it. I'm not saying, I shouldn't say everybody. I think a majority of the fighters.
Well, Pride, they didn't, it was, they didn't test nobody.
I'm pretty sure that a lot of the guys did do it, and who say that even the guys who said they didn't do it, did do it, whatever. The point I'm trying to make here is that, dude, before USADA, man, it was fucking free game, dude.
Let's go.
It's like, I'll give you a perfect example. Vitor Belfort. Before and after TRT. Look at him when he fought John Jones. That guy was TRT. And John Jones beat him TRT the fuck up, man.
Yeah, but again,
John Jones literally fucking beat Vitor Belfort when he was fucking just all that is man. And that's impressive in itself, for one. And then you see him again fight without TRT against Anderson Silva, and dude gets fucking just destroyed with one front kick to the face. You know?
But you go through all that.
Two different guys.
You go through all that. Like I said, we're talking about the female aspect, right? Then you get to Ronda, who was just say it, she was a jiu-jitsu specialist, right?
She was a judo.
I'm sorry,
judo. She's a bronze medalist in judo.
She would literally just throw everyone on the ground, take her arm off, and then that was it. I mean, how many arm bars did she?
Was she bronze? Or was she silver? No, she was bronze. Bronze, okay.
How many arm bars did she just sink on people and like
all the time?
Right?
She's an arm bar queen. That's what she should have done her whole career.
But
she could have done her whole career, and I've been like, yeah, fuck yeah.
But then she goes against Holly Holm
and doesn't fall back to what she's good at.
But she
tries to box a 13-time champion
and a kickboxer.
Like fucking A, dude.
But that's hard too. It's harder too because Holly Holm could move on her feet. She wasn't going to stand there.
She's got footwork. She's around you. Very intelligent striker.
Exactly, and that's what she was able to do. Because I don't think Ronda had the capability of doing it. And
so why? Okay, on that same note, then why did her coach tell her to stand up with Holly Holm? There has to be some kind of accountability for that, especially through her training camp.
Yeah, her coach is a fucking idiot.
Like.
He was wasn't he the one telling everyone that she's been beating on the dudes in the gym?
Like, okay, listen, she has amazing grappling skills and talent. She can fucking hip toss and throw guys down all day long. She's a judo specialist. That's what she does, man. You think that's gangster? Her mom's even more gangster, and she's older, and she's old woman. But she'll still slam your bitch ass down to the ground. It's just one of those things. Like, okay, like come on. Guys, get real. Let's focus on something. Like if Ronda
are we sponsored by Budweiser, by the way, today? Budweiser,
no, I was just watching.
If you want to feel free to ship us some more, we will have this on the table at all times. No, Budweiser, always crisp, proven filling. Not here, Fairfield, California. I tried.
No, I was on the ranch hype, and I just felt like I wanted to, after watching that show for like the first season. I'm like, man, I really want a Bud right now.
It show's like amazing. It's literally. Minus the Budweiser, because a lot of you fucks drink Coors, or Coors Light. I don't. This is actually my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. There's Budweiser red and white bottles. People go, "What the hell?" I'm like, "Fuck you. It's real beer. I don't need your IPA triple hops made from 80-year-old virgin yeast out of the fucking vagina. I just want a fucking beer, and this is cold, crisp, and refreshing. Gracias." But it's either this or Jameson all the time. And I was like watching the ranch. I'm like,
this is my show.
I love these people. It's so amazing.
That's all I do.
Yeah. It's like
There's like never a scene. I think there's a couple of scenes in that movie where, or no, there's a scene in that movie that show where Bo, the older guy, is like
the dad.
Sitting there. Yeah, he's sitting there and he obviously some shit's happening with him, and this lady comes over with her Chevy, and they're like, oh, they're gonna be pissed she's gonna be pissed when he gets home, that you're here, and then all of a sudden he's like, who the fuck parked their Chevy in my driveway?
Piece of shit.
Oh man, it's just, and he's all about Ford, and it's fucking magical.
I love it too. That and the Broncos. The boys love the Broncos.
Oh, God.
It's in Wyoming, right? It's supposed to take, or is it Colorado?
No, it's Colorado.
Is it Colorado?
Colorado, yeah.
Well, I
yeah.
mean,
Garrison, Colorado.
You think about it, like Wyoming
or Garrison,
right
no.
there.
Yeah, Garrison, Colorado. I think because they're right next to Denver.
Yeah, that show definitely sad. It's showing. It's the last season now. I know you just started watching it. It's got a lot of upturns. It pissed me the fuck off when the original person that produces this show is fired out of allegations. The cancel culture we have now, if someone's accused of something, automatically they're guilty, which is not the way the fucking law sees it. Congratulations.
Isn't it innocent until proven guilty?
Yeah. Unless someone tweets about it, then you're just fucked. You know what I mean? That's just life now.
That's kind of fucked up in a lot of ways. I mean, like, how can you?
I've been there.
Hey man,
I've been there. It's fucked up.
Hey man, it's fucked up.
I got these gray hairs from somewhere, bro. I went from fucking brown to gray in like 2 months.
Yeah, but you were proved, like I said, proved innocent in the court of law.
Innocent, but I had to deal with it for almost 2 years, right? But I went to court of law. This guy has not been charged or anything. Loses his job because of the Me Too movement. And I'm not saying that rape's okay or anything like that. I'm saying that shit happens that you don't know or didn't happen or not. But you can't just constantly accuse somebody and then it comes through and then not have any facts. And then this dude loses his job. He should lose it afterwards, right? If he gets caught, you're done. Instead, you see one tweet. This should, everyone should stop watching the show. Everyone should stop doing this. But so you're going to affect my probability of enjoying something because you think this. The really
shitty part about it though is like throughout the entire series, there are a lot of like funny moments where he's like, "Yeah, that chick's really hot." Like, that's my 17-year-old daughter. Well, about 17, I fuck her. You're just like, this isn't painting a picture any better, man.
But that's the premise of the show. It's sorry to say this, the rest of America. But and everyone's like your liberal policies and your PC culture and your movies that you just want to throw everything into it you can to have it. It's a different variety. And in more traditional towns like that in the Midwest, it's ass backwards and funny. And I mean it's but what real men would really say. I mean, you joke around the locker room talk and you say shit all the time to your buddies you're hanging out. You might say something really fucking funny and then but you realize you're just joking, but everyone starts giggling, so it's funny. Doesn't mean you're gonna fucking sit there and do something dumb, but it's just guys being guys 90% of the time when you're talking about shit like that, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I promise you, if I walked in the room and someone's raping a girl, I'm beating the fuck out of them, and she's screaming no or something like that. Yeah, we're gonna have issues. I'm not okay in that. But to joke around about with your boys, it's just what people fucking do. Not in joke around rape, but you joke around stupid shit all the time. Like you said, I was 17. I definitely would just put my dick in that. You know what I mean? Well, okay, cool. But this culture now is, like I said, the tweets go out and the whole world. Like Dave Chappelle.
Changes the whole world, man.
Dave Chappelle. How in the hell does a guy that has been doing comedy who literally did the most outlandish shit ever on Comedy Central, for use of words of race, everything, to things like that. He makes it special, and people get mad at him. Like, you didn't expect this to happen? You wait, what? You think this guy's after 30, 40 years of changing?
He made a episode of his show where he was a white supremacist guy who hated black people, but he was blind
and black, so he didn't know. Really? And you think this was going to change because he was on Netflix?
Oh, God. It's just well, it's some of the things he got away with as a comedian just blow my mind. But that's what makes him a fucking legend, dude. That's what makes him the shit.
What's hella funny about it is when he's sitting there.
I can't wait till he does a fucking podcast with Joe Rogan. That's going to be an amazing podcast.
When he goes through it and he's sitting there and he's telling everybody the second show, because that series is basically 2 shows put together, right? I think there's one in Atlanta and the one in New York.
I didn't know.
Yeah, the Q&A portion I think was in New York.
I haven't seen it yet, dude. I gotta watch it.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Dead serious, man. I haven't watched it.
You have Netflix right there.
I know. Well, then we'll watch it after this. I haven't seen it before.
Fuck. Anyways, there's a scene where he's sitting there talking about it, and he's questioning these people in the audience. He's asking Q&A. Now, mind you, he's in fucking New York. That's just like California. You think you can smoke in a building in New York? Nope. But that motherfucker's on stage smoking a cigarette away. One of the audience members asked him for a cigarette. He gives him a cigarette. It's hilarious. But he goes, what's funny, you motherfuckers? you're in this, this building that's famous that you pay $500 a ticket. He goes, I was in Atlanta yesterday. I think motherfuckers are paying $50 for the front seat. I was just like, that's a good point because, keep it real. Where you're at is where you're going to pay. Or your price is going to go, but he was just hilarious the shit he came up with, and like I said, I was bothered. I was bothered by one thing, but I'm not going to let me affect the rest of the show. Was the whole Michael Jackson thing? I don't think at any fucking point child rape is funny, cute, or anything like that. That's to me is crossing the line. Children are innocent and they should never be fucking fucked with at any point. But when he rolls into that, yeah, I was kind of bothered by it. I was offended, but did I let it ruin my night? No. I laughed at everything else and just said, "Hey, that was my favorite part of the show." Right.
And that's you have to have an open mind going into any comedy show. I mean, I always see that. I saw Theo Vaughn in Sacramento one time, and some guys were talking shit in the front of the auditorium, where he was performing at, and I was like, "Oh, cool, this will be fun," And all of a sudden, the guys start talking. He's like, "Oh, thanks, guys. Shut the fuck up, man. It's nice to see 3 white guys in here without guns, Like he goes, it's nice to see 3 white guys in a fucking movie theater without guns, and it was funny, And he starts to go through his thing, and then they start talking more, and then that's when you can just tell it throws off his rhythm. And comedians are on they're practicing, they're doing a skit, they
have a set, they practice,
they memorize shit, they have a system, and these guys are interrupting that system, and once they did that, the whole show kind of went I shouldn't say a spiral because I love Theo Vaughn. He's fucking hilarious, and I love the show a lot. But I was already tired as fuck I was right when I switched over from 3 to midnight to mornings, and that's when I got my job I have now. But it changed, and it threw off his rhythm, and you could just tell, and it was just I don't know if it would have been any better, but it definitely threw him off because the crowd it messed his rhythm up. Yeah. It messed it up. And some guys can bounce back from it. Some guys can't. Like Joe Rogan is probably one of those guys who can bounce back. He burn the fuck out of somebody and turn it all around and then But I don't know if Theo's the same type of comedian.
And that's that's who everyone practices their craft differently, right?
Right.
And that's part of it too. That guys get a set, say his set's 35 minutes for each show, whatever the hell it was. If he's mainlining an hour, I don't know at that comedy place I don't know what it is. But all of a sudden you start throwing your 5-10 seconds in there, and you keep blocking, keep stopping the guy. And then, like you said, if he's a repetitive person where he has to be on his set on his routine and not very proactive, like the stuttering kid, he was on.
Lynch. Drew Lynch.
Drew Lynch, right?
God, he's so funny.
Dude, that dude will fire back in a heartbeat.
He's so amazing.
I'm like, oh, God, here it comes. And because when he starts going really fast, he's going to hammer the person that's fucking with on the ground. And I'm like, yeah, you're fucked, dude. Here it comes. And he just starts laying to people. But for him, he's able, I think probably because he's been fucked with at some point or whatever.
No, because he used to be the guy who'd fuck with people. That's why he knows how to come back.
Oh, is that what it is?
Well, because he used to be a bully. He even admitted himself. I used to be a terrible person. I used to play I used to play, I think he said soccer he played or baseball or something like that. And he was I used to be a terrible person. So mean to people all the time. And I totally regret it. And, he switched his whole life around and now he's got all these awesome things. He's a comedian. He's fucking hilarious. Utilizes his disability and turns it into a positive, which therefore makes everybody else happy because it's fucking hilarious. And a part of me was maybe he'll one day he'll go out and get his a speech therapist. But honestly, he plays so well into it.
He can't get a speech therapist. His is actually brain damage.
Oh, you can't? I thought you could repair it. You could try that.
No. I think he said in an interview one time, he got hit in the head by a softball.
Was that what it was? Softball or baseball? I couldn't remember.
I know it was softball that hit him. He might have played baseball in high school and shit, but I think he was a young adult and he got hit in the head with a softball is what he said.
Okay.
And the guy said, you should have caught the softball. He goes, yeah, you're right. And I was just like, Jesus. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to, I'm making fun of the stammer because it's what makes it hilarious when he does it.
We wouldn't have the Drew Lynch that we know and love now. We wouldn't have that that side of comedy, the side of comedy that he was able to provide for us.
He took that side of adversity and changed it.
Yeah, and he gave us that positive thing, and I appreciate him for that because that's awesome. He was able
Life gives you lemons and make margaritas. Wait, what?
No, fuck the lemons and bail, dude. Yeah.
But you gotta do what you gotta do. That's all that is.
Very true.
But that's again too. That's the culture you're in. My favorite shit to watch is old Ralphie May, the fat dude. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh my god, he's amazing.
But the shit he would say, you're like,
oh yeah, you see the one where he talks about his 5-inch dick?
Yeah.
All you fucking long dick motherfuckers.
He was talking about the one where
your 9-inch fucking slongs. Get this. I talked to 4. He's like 5 gynecologists and fucking da 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 da. And the average pussy can fit. He's like 7. He's like 7 inches or some shit. That means all you 9-inch fucking dicks out there got 2 inches of dry dick. Or the 2 inches of dry dick, man. How's that fucking feel?
Or the one he talks about, what was it? The retarded friend that they all loved and cared about, and I was just like, oh god, jeez. If that was today, you're fucked. You're fucked as soon as you say that word.
She was amazing. He was an amazing comedian. Yeah, he was dark as fuck, but God, was he fucking.
Well, it's like art. That's like, like say Tropic Thunder. That was a little less than like 10 years ago, right?
I've never seen that movie. It pisses. I feel like I have seen it, but I just never. It's been years. I feel like I've watched bits and pieces of it, but never actually sat down and watched the whole film. And I'm a sad individual, dude. I know. I can see the expression.
I'm fucking. I want to take my headset off and fucking go to the gym now and just lift because I'm so frustrated with this motherfucker. He literally has not watched one of the most controversial fucking comedy shows in the last forever. And it's right here on Netflix, and you have never watched Tropic Thunder. Like, how in the hell? Like, when I say don't ever go full retard, you don't get that? I mean, and there's
never go full retard.
The worst part about that is there's context behind that because they're making fun of the actors that propose themselves to do this, and they go fucking so stupid in the roles or something like that. And the Daniel Day-Lewis's who won't wear a jacket because they didn't have jackets in 1863 when they're I mean, stupid shit like that. And they're making fun of it because the reality is you're just acting like you don't have to go overboard because you make it worse.
Never go full retard.
Yeah, he goes,
I am Sam, man.
Forrest Gump, dumb. Stupid, yeah. Ran a marathon, did it run across the United States? Not retarded. You know what I mean? Like, basically, he's just saying, he didn't go fucking stupid to take a role. That was pretty good. And everyone got mad just because of the word retard, right? Okay, we get it. You're pissed off. Or let's talk about the fat actor who everyone loves, who's really got a heroin addiction. You know what I mean? Like, that's real reality right there because that happens all the time in Hollywood, and they're just making fun of it, but no one talks about that. Just the shit they could do. Like, who do you think you are? I'm the dude playing a dude, pretending to be another dude. And you're like, oh, shit.
What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
I was like, I've seen parts of that film. I just didn't watch the whole thing.
You need to watch the whole thing and enjoy it. It's definitely a piece of Americana that should be enjoyed for centuries to come, such as Blazing Saddles and Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles? What's that? Just kidding.
Do you see the frustration on my face? He almost got hit with a bottle.
It's cool.
Or man. Spaceballs.
Oh, I've definitely seen that movie.
Spaceballs is fucking hilarious.
May the Schwartz be with you.
I remember my buddy, after I watched Spaceballs, I was like, hey, my friend's like, hey, you'll watch this. It was called Thumb Wars. And it's basically like Star Wars, but it's like all fingers.
Oh, little thumbs, yeah.
And I loved it so much because, Chewie was crunchy. Han's Hand, that was his ship. It's called Han's Hand.
Hands hand.
And they had like in the laser, their lightsabers came out of the thumbnail behind their heads. And then the big weapon that the Death Star had wasn't a laser or it wasn't a it wouldn't destroy it would just spin the planet. Spin the planet, and it would just spin it.
I really thought it'd be a fist like wrapped around a dick, jerking off, and then shooting it slow on something, and that'd be like the laser coming out of the Death Star. Get it? No.
Oh no, that'd been hella funny.
That'd been like
there's
a pornish one. I guess
there were some really good ones in there. There were some really really good ones. You're just like, oh shit.
But that's.
It's like why are we all talking in a British accent when we're from outer space?
Yeah.
And then Vader just looks over and pops his head off. Shut the fuck up, man. Nobody cares about you.
Because the British people are bad people and they're evil. Just make that out. That's why they were the bad guys in Star Wars.
Oh, man.
They're so evil, they're the bad guys in space.
Right. They had serious problems.
Yeah.
And they decided, like, fuck it.
Yeah, fuck this shit.
That's awesome.
But, I mean, movies, stuff like that, it's just changed so much to me. I mean, American Pie. You couldn't make American Pie now.
Oh, God, no.
And that shit was
priceless. That movie was amazing.
They have a guy humping.
Amazing.
If you're under age of like 20-something, you've never seen it, there's a guy that humps a pie.
That's the reason why they call it American Pie, man.
Yeah, literally.
It was funny. It's actually funny because my dad's best friend and one of his best friends from high school is in the film. His name's Lance. And he was one of the guys who was on like one of the producers or either one of the camera guys or sound techs. I can't remember what it was, but he's in the scene. There's a scene where he's he has the webcam on in his room, and the chick he's banging.
Oh, they actually send it out to they send it to the whole class's feed so everyone can watch it.
What was her name? I can't remember her name, but
was it Natalie? No,
it wasn't Natalie. It was something else. Anywho, there's a scene where he's like, he's dancing, and then the stream's going out to like 5 other, a bunch of other people. And they're all watching
Blink-182's watching it at one point.
Right. Yeah. And that scene, but like Blink-182's hanging out there watching it. A guy walks in the background, goes, "Hey guys, what are you guys watching?" And like, that's my dad's high school.
That's
friend,
fucking funny,
Lance.
dude.
So I'll show you one of these days. I'm like, that's fucking Lance. That was like his one little tidbit. Like, hey, you're gonna have you walk into this room and say, "What are you guys watching?" And he's with Blink-182, I think.
They got a monkey too, I think.
Yeah.
What?
Hey man, if I was
Random
in a band,
guy, 182,
if I was in a band, I don't want to have a monkey too.
and a
Fuck it.
monkey. Fuck it. That's
Fuck
just
it.
rock and roll. Yeah, that shit, like, he blows in 10 seconds. She's walking around with her shirt off. Like, no.
Damn, man.
Like, literally the most famous line of that whole
Nadia,
movie.
that's her name. Nadia.
The most famous line of that whole movie is, in this one time in band camp, I stuck a flute up my pussy. You're like, where in the hell did this go?
Was that the first one, huh?
That was.
I thought it was that was right, because she was at the party. I forgot. Like, she's like, "Are we gonna go bang or are we gonna go?" I'm like,
We're gonna
"What?"
go fuck? Yeah.
Like,
Because she's going from this
what?
like cute little innocent girl that doesn't do anything. She's all bubbly and sweet, and then turns out she's a giant fucking
I feel like we're
freak.
educating. I feel like we're educating all those, like, those what Generation X? Is that what they are?
I don't
What's,
know what they
what's
are.
the new generation? I don't even know.
Pepsi, the choice of a new generation. That's when I was a kid. So that makes sense. Anybody get that one? You're older than fuck too. But I mean, that's literally just like like I have a kid at work. He's 20, just turned 22. He's never seen Top Gun. He's like, "What's this Top Gun 2 about?" I'm like,
Oh my god!
"Wait,
Like, hey, dude, let me educate you real quick.
Yeah,
here.
I mean,
let me take you back.
it's just
It was called the 90s.
no, that was 87."
Is it? Oh, was it
That was
87?
87.
Oh, okay. It was late 80s.
But
okay.
there was so much, like, every time you mention a movie, he goes, "What are you guys talking about?" And we're like,
like Goose. Like, you can't even make that joke with him. You can't even.
"No." And he looks, I swear to God, that's how it got brought up, matter of fact. He looks just like Goose. He's got the fucking mustache, the blonde hair, and we call him Goose all the fucking time. Not joking. Cam, hi, if you see this, buddy, you little shit nugget. We call him Goose. Like, "Hey, what's up, Goose?" And then, or if he wears his tries wearing aviators in sometimes, and he wears, those douchebag fucking short pink shorts that all you little fuckers are wearing now that you think look cool, but you look like you belong on a boat with deck shoes, but you're on dry land all the time. You look like an asshole, as a reminder. And with, the collared shirt and sleeves rolled up. Yeah, you look like a dick nugget. He wears that in, and I went, "Oh my God, it's Lieutenant Dangle." He goes, "Who the fuck's Lieutenant Dangle?" And I was like, "Reno 911, Reno." I might just thinking to myself, like, "You not see Reno 911, bro. Like, I don't get this shit." But he literally looks like him too when he wears his little aviators. Yeah, I don't. The style thing is killing me when it.
There are a lot of cool trends that came back or are coming back, but then there's also a lot of weird shit now. Like, fuck, I've fallen off social media so much. The only thing I stay on is like Instagram. I fell off Snapchat and Facebook. I don't even follow that shit anymore.
Can we just start, like, can the hairy thing come back? Because I'm tired of having to shave my body all the time. Because I hate being hairy because it's embarrassing to me. Like,
What's wrong with being a bear, man?
Can we bring back the Burt Reynolds? Because number one, if you say bear around certain people, they're gonna think bad things.
Oh my God, what's wrong with being a bear, man?
Yeah, exactly.
Be a bear.
Be a bear.
Be a bear.
But
Yeah,
like,
I gotta take a piss. Hold
because
on.
the whole manscaping shit came around and all that shit. So it's like, I'm like, fuck this shit. I gotta shave it. It does not fucking bow well for me. Back to the sponsor, Budweiser. Thank you for providing this. Just joking, you didn't provide it, but if you want to, we can have some more, please. It's cool, fresh, refreshing, tastes amazing. Label out. I'm a good spokesperson, I swear. I just curse a lot and I'm an asshole. So, like most movie stars. Derek's pissing. He needs to hurry up. You're fucking up my vibe, Derek.
When I piss, my dick touched the water.
Shit, that water's cold and deep, son. I can feel the Pacific Ocean.
Well, hell, I like you, son. Go to my house and fuck my sister.
You gonna fuck my sister, you.
Oh man, speaking of that, there are a lot of scenes in this show where like they've like fucked like what was it? What was the one time when we're talking about the ranch here when Rooster, I'm learning the names, Rooster is having sex with his girlfriend's with what's his face's Colt's girlfriend's mom.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where he goes over to the house to talk to Mary. That's the girl's
Mary,
name. And he's like, hey, this is why I got this problem. And she's like, oh, well. And the rooster walks over, hey, babe, what's going on? Hey, son, how you doing? Hey, Heather, your boyfriend's here. Come on, baby. Show's about to come on.
They walk off.
Acting like his stepdad.
Yeah.
He's just like, shit, it's so funny, dude.
But that's the funny part. That shows just the premise of being single male trying to get your dick wet.
Pretty much. And there's like a lot of weird things that like are relatable throughout the entire series. You're just like, wait a second. Okay.
There's a lot.
I see a lot of relatable things in this show that, not like the drama side of it, but like just like the funny drunken side of it, where like they go to the bar every night. And their mom works at the bar and like they get free drinks or some shit or whatever the fuck, and they're just like,
she's like, no, you have a tab. You know that, right?
Like, yeah. Fuck. And then like his mom comes over to her house and he's like, hey mom, you want a drink? She's like, yeah, I have one. That'd be $5. She's like, I gave birth to you on the floor of the fire station with no drugs. $4. Little things like that. I think that shit cracks me up.
Now, the sub stories in it's pretty good. There's a lot of emotional attachment to it, and it does rely heavily on the premise of family. You know what I mean? And how different a father can be to their son, and you can still love him, and all that shit. So that's what I do enjoy about the show.
Well, obviously, it has that tough love aspect too.
Yeah, literally the tough love. The dad won't even fucking hug him, but let alone shake their hand. But that's part of it. And
that's his version of love, man.
Yeah. That's what how he was raised. That's how it goes down. But the funny part about it to me, you liked it too? How was it?
Well, now Kira has an opinion too. Go ahead, Kira. What else you got?
You got anything else to add to the story?
No. Okay.
I was the funny part to me. I was really disappointed in what's her name? Elizabeth Cuthbert, or
who's that?
The blonde teacher.
Mm-hmm. She's so hot.
She was so much better in The Girl Next Door.
Well, first of all, The Girl Next Door, I think she was like fucking...
I don't give a fuck. You're missing
how
the
old
premise.
Is she, 21,
I don't give a fuck. You missed
film?
the premise. Like, I was expecting, like, every once in a while have something tight and short on, or, bring that back. And I was like, no,
that's not her character, man.
I don't give a fuck. I want to see her in some short shorts.
This isn't fucking... this isn't Role Models where the fucking teacher fucking... the teacher he meets in line who's like, you've been a bad boy.
Yeah.
It's not that kind of fucking thing for her.
Wanted it, okay? I wanted it. You fucking took it away from me. I wanted it. Yes, I wanted it. I'm a selfish prick. Apologize.
I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you. She's super hot, but it just wasn't in the books for her, man. That's why he had that one girl, Heather. I was like, man, I love this show so much. He's banging that one hot ass chick, great rocking body. They set the camper on fire that one time, man. You got to see like her whole body. What was her name? Heather. That was her girlfriend.
The daughter.
Good for her. He's like, hey, you want to go do me on the tractor? What happened to your shirt? Does that really matter? Nope.
Let's go.
Like, nope.
That's right. That was.
And their buddy who's a cop who keeps losing his fucking taser and his gun. He's like, where the fuck is my gun?
Yeah,
he finds the gun in the refrigerator.
Did you take my gun again? They just laugh about it.
Oh, fuck me. That's just hilarious.
I have to arrest you. No, you're not.
And he finds him drunk driving a tractor home, and then he's like, hey, your tractor's off I-118. Our tractor's in the barn. Ah, shit. It's little things like that make a series so much better. I don't know. I like the whole concept of the film. The series. I like it. It's a good series, man, and it just sucks because like a friend of mine told me like later about that character who's getting removed, who got taken off because of the allegations and whatnot. So it kind of bums me out now. And I'm watching it. I'm only in like part 2.
Yeah, you're not prepared for this. I promise you.
Yeah, it's
he's there, and then all of a sudden
he's not.
I don't know. I can't remember. I think it's on for one more season after the allegations happen, and it's written on the wall.
Last episode. It's part 5, episode 10.
No, my point being though is I think the allegations happened at the end of season 4 or while they were filming or something like that, and then you just see all of a sudden shit starts getting weird, and you're like, what the? And then boop,
they just get rid of him. Like the producers or the writers were like, okay, they're like, hey, let's just start to push this guy out. Which is terrible. It's like when the whole Charlie Sheen happened. The thing with 2.5 Men, man. I fucking love that show with Charlie Sheen. You know why? Because that was him. He played himself.
Yeah.
That was literally who he was.
Drinking alcohol and drugs. It's what did you expect?
That's what he does.
A self role.
Like, that's perfect. And that's why I love that series so much. I fucking love it. But then as soon as they got rid of him, obviously he was on a bender and he was doing crazy shit. But once they got rid of him, the show was like not the same.
Is really having two beautiful blonde-haired porn stars living with you, banging them both, and calling yourself a trifecta really that crazy?
No, not that crazy.
Now, the whole AIDS thing is, but or HIV, but
it's Charlie Sheen, man.
Banging.
Like, he fucking knew. He knew what the fuck was going on.
He's been caught with hookers and shit. So was Johnny Depp, though, wasn't he? Johnny Depp. RDJ was
no. Jude Law was the guy who fucking had sex with his like housekeeper who was like hideous and cheated on what's her face. Remember that shit with Jude Law? Or
you really want to get talking about fucking ugly helping hands? Let's talk about Arnold Schwarzenegger fucking.
Dude, I know. I heard about that too,
bro. I saw a picture.
I wonder how
I was expecting Arnold. Bro, I'm telling you right now, your ex-wife was bad, like fucking gorgeous. Maria, whatever her name is, congratulations on that, and you fucked up. You done fuck. I mean, if you're gonna fuck up. Fuck up in a
like
good way.
Do like a Tiger Woods fuck up.
Yeah. Like you're banging 1,000 hookers and shit. Like, okay, cool, we get it. You fucked a 4'10" Mexican maid that looked like she had Down syndrome, bro. Like, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but literally was awkward. And the craziest part about it, you know that your genes aren't that good because all your other kids look like your ex-wife. That means her genetics, as big as buff as you are, or way superior to her. His bastard child, fucking dead off, bro. Like, dead off. You're like, what the? Like, they show pictures of him. I'm like, it's like a tan version of Arnold Schwarzenegger in his 20s. You're like, what the hell?
Hey, man. Some guys are like that. Some guys want that, Some guys want something different,
Well, he probably just figured she wouldn't say anything, You're paying her, making money, whatever.
Who knows what? There are some weird things that movie stars do just because they're movie stars.
Because they can. Well, that's anything. That's
there's
power.
Some weird thing that they have. Like,
that's
some
power.
weird kind of.
That's power. That's just.
I don't know if it's power.
It's power. I'm telling you, what? If I'm walking down the street right now.
If I had $500 million in my bank account right now, would that make me more powerful or less powerful?
You'd be
right now.
If
I was living here and I had $500 million, would that make me any more powerful?
Would you be living here at this point? No, you'd probably own the whole fucking complex.
I would honestly. I don't even know what I would. That's a lot of money. That's first of all a lot of money. Secondly, that can take a lot of planning. Okay,
but that's a different. To me, that's the difference, and I mean this. Like, it sounds to try to persuade the fact of money. Fast money comes with fast problems. You play that slow nickel and you make your dollar over time and you earn it. You don't see those people doing stupid shit. I don't hear shit about Warren Buffett fucking up a bunch of shit or anything like that. But when you have young people that are paid billions of dollars because they're famous and everyone notices them, they're flocking to them and they're taking on this, you become super important to yourself. And when you become super important to yourself, you forget where the fuck you are. Mm-hmm. That's why people fucking fall off and become so outlandish in their actions and not pay attention. There's no consequences because at that point you think you're the king of the world. Well, the reality is you're a flavor of the fucking month half the time. You are the next person,
next fad,
and
until you fade,
until you're gone. It's what it is. There's very few people in Hollywood that you can see that are still lasting today that were doing it 40, 50 years ago that were up for Oscars and shit like that and continue to do it. But when you're a fad like that, you're making money. If you made $500 fucking million right now, I promise you, you'd be down to $300 million in a couple days by accident. Because you're just gonna go fuck it. What do I do? Now, people that earn their money know what it takes to earn it and invest it and take care of it. You're gonna try to grow it. I mean, you see with anybody, like I said, makes fast money. Fighters and shit like that, they're broke. And you're like, how in the fuck you made $200 million? How you broke? Oh, because you bought 20 houses. You had an entourage of 50 fucking people. You do shit that's not beneficial to you. You do it because you have it and you have no idea how to act with it. Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna lie. If you hit me $500 million right now, I'd be that guy.
Yeah, see, that's why I would differ. It's like the whole the whole stipulation of what would you do if you won the lottery, and that kind of shit. When that $1.3 billion lottery, 1.6, whatever the fuck it was,
cocaine hookers.
Would you? Yeah, right, that one guy. I was like, someone asked me that, like, what would you do? I'm like, well, first of all, I wouldn't go down there for a day or two. I'd like let it marinate. I'd be like, okay, go back to work, do my job, do whatever. Then get off work, stroll on down there, act like nothing's going on. Say, here you go, goes into this account, not say a goddamn thing. Wait till things all get, because I do the lump sum, because you're not going to want to go get that, because you would never get that amount, because they pay you like a certain amount each month. Yeah. It's for the month. Every month that you pay.
whatever it is.
$20,000 a month. Still, that's not. I mean, fuck.
Give me my money, motherfucker.
I want the lump sum because I'd rather just do that and then get it.
Yeah.
Because you still, even if you did $20,000 a month for, you still would never ever get all that money. You still wouldn't.
You're dick.
So, so you're like, okay, fuck it, you know. And then I do it, and I would plan. I still continue to go to work, do whatever, you know, do what I had to do. Not tell a soul. I'd probably like take some of it, and be like invest it, and then be like, okay, here you go, and then give a lot of it to my close family. Like, here you go. First of all, this is for you guys when you retire.
Can you get a bottle of Jameson?
This is for you. And what?
Can I get a bottle of Jameson?
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Sure.
And a pickle jar that's sealed, because you're gonna have the stupid money to be able to do this.
Stupid money. Stupid.
That has it's sealed.
Like I'm wiping my with Dumb
Wipe
and
your
Dumber.
butt,
Where I'm
yeah.
like going to tears. And using,
I want a dill pickle jar full of pickle juice with no pickles in it, but sealed from the pickle place. That's what I want. Why? Because
so you call up the fucking plant and like, listen, this is what I want.
I want to pay you $400 not to put the fucking pickles in there, put nothing but juice and chips to my buddy. It's gonna happen.
If that's not power, I don't know what power is.
Exactly, and money can get you stupid power like that, right?
That's power.
I'm not gonna lie. Right now, probably not, because I got a good girl on my hands and I'm, trying to be better. But this was like a year ago, and I got hit with this shit. Yeah, I'd be the motherfucking burnout in like 6 months. What'd you do? I bought 4 islands. Where were they? One was 3 Mile Island long. There was a radioactive leak there. Yeah, I figured that out too late. But hey, I saw an island that glows green. I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, just you would.
Now I got a third arm.
Yeah, exactly. But what? That's like that. I'm like, that'd be me. Like, I have a feeling, especially in the last couple of years, that would have been me being really stupid. I probably would have like put like $20 million away for each one of my kids and had it do it until they turned 18 or whatever. But other than that, yeah, I'm buying a plane. What kind of plane you want to buy?
You'd be like that,
buy 2 of them because I don't know which one.
It's like that movie, The Secondhand Lions, where like they flew the plane into the barn.
Yeah.
They bought a yacht for their pond.
Like, why? Because I can, motherfucker. Why are you worried about it?
Like, they bought a yacht for a fucking yacht for a pond. The shit doesn't even move. It's just stuck in the mud.
I don't know.
That's some straight G shit.
I don't know how this guy does it. Dan Brazilian, you know who that is?
Oh, yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. He's basically I've seen his Instagram. He's just like this dude who's got surrounded by pussy all the time.
Playboy,
He's straight up G, whatever the
Playboy
fuck.
to the T of
Don't know
life,
anything
right?
about him, but except for his Instagram.
Something about he gambles, makes money gambling. I think at some point his parents passed, left him a lot of money. He's invested, made good decisions, whatever. But that's the fucking life I would have. Like, literally, like
He was talking. You have to take the money and invest it.
He was talking the other day about how they went to a poker tournament. He paid like $2,000 for his running in a poker tournament. They both got really placed well or some shit like that, and they were like way up on money. And like, we're gonna buy a boat and go to Mexico. So they went down the boat, like 4 friends and about 20 bitches. He goes, I nutted 9 times in one day, and I was like, and he goes, it wasn't just like 9 times.
At that point, you're like, fuck.
It was 9 different women. I'm like,
at that point, shit.
Yeah. What happened? It fell off.
Beer's flowing through me, man. I got to piss like a racehorse again.
You fucking cracked the seal, bro. You
Dude,
can't
I
do
did,
that.
man. I fucking
Rule
did.
1, people, when you're drinking, you do not piss until you actually have to. Because otherwise, you're not going to fucking stop. Beer is magic. It helps clear you out. It makes everything better. It's commercial break. You're going to sponsored by here Budweiser, made here in Fairfield. Cold, fresh, crisp, clean. That red and white label, the sign of a working man. Fuck your IPAs. Yeah. No, I don't want money. I just want free beer. All right, this is my last one, though, because I got to go. I got to go after this last beer, after this last little segment, because I got to hit the gym up. Time to go move weight. Boop, 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 boop. What?
I'm talking to my dog. He's like, I'm gonna follow you wherever you go, Dad. I don't care where you go.
Oh,
If you're
dude.
pissing, care if you're doing anything.
No matter what, you're stuck with her forever.
Yeah, forever, dude. Fuck me.
You know what? I mean, this sounds really cringy to say, so don't take it the wrong way. But she's like the perfect size. Like if she did die, you could stuff her and like have her for the rest of your life. Like you ever see people that do that?
What? Oh, stiff like
yeah, attached to your dog. There was literally this
never
guy.
do that.
There was a guy that it was a TV show
not that guy.
on Animal Planet
Not
that people would bring in their dogs and he would text them their dogs. And I was just like,
it's fucking weird.
that's creepy.
It's weird. It's one thing. It's one thing to keep like what do you call those? You can get them for your like Christmas tree or whatever. You take their paw. And you put it in the seat. That's one thing, Or like I've seen almost people who collect the excess dog hair. They make it into like a blanket or some shit. I mean, that's pretty dark in itself.
That just smells
some
bad
dark,
to me.
some dark
that
shit.
Does not sound like
but stuffing your animal and saving it for the rest of your life, like fucking Kingsman or some shit. Yeah, no, dude. I'm cool.
That's right. He does keep his dog in that movie, huh?
He does.
I'm so pissed off that they're fucking doing another one, but it's not the Kingsman. It's like before the Kingsman. The Kingsman. It's a prequel.
Oh, it's a prequel.
It's like World War I or something like that.
It's the dude, but he's coming up or whatever. I think.
No. It's prior to even
the Kingsman being around.
Lancelot. Yeah, this is like the start of the Kingsman, like the beginning of it all. What makes the Kingsman cool to me? It's outlandishly crazy, the technology, all that shit, the action scenes, but it's a lot of the modernization, and you're gonna go back to the like whatever it is. I'm like, I want to see an umbrella that can stop bullets, motherfucker. What are you guys gonna do about that? You know what I mean? Like. We could see through it because there's cameras on it. Like that's the part I want to see, and it's just like weird to me. But yeah, they're doing another one.
I didn't know that. I thought they were. Well, I saw. Well, I guess I did know that, but I saw it, but I thought it was something different. But I guess I have to recap on it and check the commercial.
Well, you see, this is the crazy part about technology. You know, when we were kids, or
I can watch that shit later, man. I don't want to watch it right now.
No, I'm not looking. I'm just looking at the name of the movie. But I'm proving the fact real quick. When you were a kid, what did you do?
Man, I played tag outside.
Okay, but I'm saying if you were having an argument with your friend, what would you just have to say?
All right, fuck it, man, you win.
Or you like, swear to God, bro. And if someone said swear to God, that was damn near like, okay,
yeah, that pretty much, yeah.
You know, I have to believe you, right?
Right, and you believe them.
Nowadays, Google me, bitch.
You're fucked. Yeah, you're fucked, man.
You can't bullshit motherfuckers nowadays.
You can't BS.
It's like, oh my
God. Unless you're very just believable or you're gullible. I mean, I don't know. Well,
I mean, that's 90% of America because we choose to read one headline and not the whole fucking article when you read something. But and that's
it's all clickbait, guys.
Yeah, and that's the thing though. I love it when I see someone say something and they're like, for instance, I had a friend who posted, and I made the same comment on two different people's pages. Right, a female had posted this quotation, and a male had posted quotation. The female, who's far leaning towards the right, politically, is a friend of mine. She at the very end, I said, "Mama bears have claws. I think women should be able to carry CCWs to protect themselves and their sons. Because guess what? No matter what you're going to have with an argument, you're going to have the equality of men and women when it comes to these are not equal. A guy's going to be able to take advantage of a woman, right? And I didn't, it basically was saying, hey, when you see a single mother or a mom walking to her car by herself, look out for that lady because, she's not there to protect him. And that's what was my point behind the mama bear with claws. That means the mama bear should have her claws, whether it be a gun, whatever, to protect her and her own. My other friend, who's far left, and he goes, again, you missed the fucking point, bro. But on his, instead of saying the mama ball thing, I told him, not all the time is someone going to be there. She should have the right to protect herself. Mm-hmm. I added to it. And he automatically goes, fucking, you don't ever fucking, understand what I'm saying? I'm like, literally fucking was in the sentence. And I'm like thinking to myself, I bring up a fact because you want to protect that woman, but is someone always going to be there?
No.
Is someone always going to be there to protect even yourself in a disadvantaged situation? But he got pissed, and I was like, I just can't. But I'm trying to just bring up a point. You should have a right to defend yourself as a mama bear.
Correct. And you should always, right, they should always be able to protect. And there's ways around that. There's ways they can do that. And I mean, I'll take it from my personal example here. My mom, she lives out in Nevada, so she obviously has a gun and a pistol.
She's probably got like a fucking.
It's a 9mm.
She's probably got like a 249 in the trunk, because it's Nevada. You can have fully automatic weapons and shit.
It's funny. It's always funny too, because she'll always leave it in there. And she's currently dating a ex police officer, Las Vegas PD guy, good guy. And they always get in these arguments about how how come. Oh, what?
I guess I'm trying to scan it. Look like.
Oh, do I? Okay.
It's not a moco, so it looks like dry skin. It's kind of, yeah.
That's right. It's the cocaine.
Oh, Jesus! You can't say that on the radio. We're not on radio! Yay!
Just kidding. Anywho, so we're sitting there, and or excuse me, they're sitting there and they're talking, and he goes, why do you not keep your gun loaded and round chambered? She's like, well, I don't like loaded gun. And he's like, are you gonna have time to load it and cock it when someone tries to assault you or jump on you or whatever? Well, no. Okay, then why aren't you doing it? Like, why? And he kind of painted a picture for her, and she was like, well, still, I don't think I'm not gonna. He's like, well, let's test the fact. Like, how fast? He's like, here, because he ex-police officer always has a gun on him, not like a 9mm or whatever, but he has like a gun on him. He's like, all right, let's test it. Unloads it, unchambers it, puts it in. He's like, all right, how fast do you think I can load this gun and cock it? Time me. And he does it. And it's like 2 or 3 seconds. He's like, all right, now he's like, a lot of shit can happen in 2 or 3 seconds.
Not only that, but that's someone that's been trained to do that at an extreme amount of time.
He goes over to her vehicle, and he goes, okay, now get in your car. He's like, all right, now go to grab your weapon. Kind of like, I don't know if this actually happened, but like, this is what I envision when I see this. She pushes a button and it's whatever, and it takes like 3 seconds just for the fucking thing to open up, just for her to even get there. It's like, dude, it's already done. It's already done. Like, there's nothing you can do. Toast. So it's just one of those moments where you just have to kind of recognize those kind of things. Like, hey, you need to understand. I'm all about women just making sure that they're safe, they're okay, that they understand. That they have a right, to defend themselves. But obviously, when a man wants to try to come up on a girl, they're already like biologically disadvantaged already. So
yeah, males,
they need to have a way to defend themselves.
Physicality.
It's nothing against them. Like, I'm sure there's some great. Like, I'm sure there's some chicks out there who are badass as fuck. You can handle the business and do whatever. But at the same time, statistics have proven that, or genetically, that we are superior in those aspects. That's just because it's genetics. So I do believe that women should have the right to defend themselves and have those tools.
And I'll retrograde what I said. I think everyone has a right to defend themselves. I don't think it's. I think what we consider the Second Amendment, people are like, well, it says, well, like a militia for the right of the people, and then people argue about that. No, there's a fucking comma there for a reason, and it's saying to be prepared for yourself. It's to protect yourself against tyranny of the government and other foreign oppressors. It's what keeps us safe from people trying to invade us, I believe. I believe there's so much promise to what you have as that Second Amendment right, which protects all the other rights, because guess what? You got to come get them, and if you have to come get them, there's going to be hell to pay with it, because there's going to be bullets, right? I think we've gone so far away from being able to having guns in modern society at multiple points that we've lost the idea of what a gun can actually do at some point. We just think it's automatically a killing device. I don't know if you've ever hunted before, but
I want to.
I've hunted. The first deer I ever shot, I remember we were going out. Buddy took me out and
gut it.
Yeah, I got it. I butchered my own animal. I mean, he showed me how and taught me, but yeah.
It's an important step.
You'll never. I want to take this buck. The buck spooks. We're tracking for 2 or 3 days. The last day of the hunt, we come up. There's a doe. I had either sex tag, and she's about 180 yards on. I went to go walk to approach a stump to take the shot. Step on a twig. She sees me and she stands up from where she's sitting at, and or laying down at. I shoulder the rifle, 180 yards offhand, which means I was standing, no positioning, everything. Drop her on the spot. I used to watch those hunting shows, and I'd be like, dude, why is this guy whispering? I fucking screamed, bro, and then ran that whole 180 yards with a fucking knife in my hand and fucking walked up to her and slit her throat to make sure she was done. And she was definitely done by the time I got there. So,
you got to drain the blood either way, though. So that's
but you do that by hanging it upside down. And it's even harder to drain the blood if the heart's not pumping already. Because when we gutted her, split it open, and I go, where to hit her at? Because I only see, at this point, she's laying on this side, so on the entrance wound, right? I haven't seen the backside yet, because when we started gutting her on the field, we're just field dressing her, which means you're just removing the guts and leaving them there. You're not taking them with you. You're not doing it in your house.
The animals eat that shit.
Yeah, you're just basically taking about 80 pounds of fucking...
the innards.
Yeah, 80 pounds out of the animal, and it's done. And my buddy goes, that's probably one of the most impressive shots I've seen offhand. He goes, not going to lie. He goes, and you've never been hunting before. That's fucking... You were stone cold killer. And he goes, because people panic, they get fever, they miss because he goes, you were dead on. And I was like, I did what you told me to do. Like, that's like one premise. Like, someone's going to tell me to do something and tell me, hey, so you do it. Pretty good at going, okay, got it. Sure. You know what I mean? I lock it in. So when I took the animal, I remember coming up and touching her. Like, you felt an appreciation for what you did. You understand you took a life, but that life's going to feed you, right? There's a premise behind it. You understand at that point in real life, you're not shooting paper. You're not shooting at targets you realize what that gun can do. And no one in this in this country knows what those guns can do because they don't have anything that's killing anything, but they don't understand that it's a tool. And just like anything, the tool is only as good as the person using the tool, right?
Correct.
So if you learn the appreciation of that thing, like hunting something or taking care of something,
respect
it, right? Instead, you have these motherfuckers who just, it kills, so I can kill people with it. You know, they don't have no respect for it because they don't understand. And culturally, it's different around the world. But this is the country where you're designed to be.
This is the same people who think that fully semi-automatic weapons
are real deal. No, yeah, but that's just.
It's unfortunate. And as for the hunting aspect, I would love to go hunting for one.
It's so hard in the state, though.
I would love to. I mean, I don't mean like love to go out and kill something. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'd like to go hunt because it's the most purest form of who we are as a species.
Yeah, my favorite thing is when I used to do it in South Dakota, like you get new airmen there, and like you fucking monster, you go hunt, right? Because you get people from all over the United States, they're coming to you, and you're like, yeah, I hunt. What's your fucking point? And you're like, dude, how fair you think it is? He goes, what if it was just you and that animal out there? What would happen? I was like, well,
fucking kill or be killed, motherfucker.
Guess what? We're the apex predator of this planet, regardless of anything
kill or
else.
Be killed, dude.
It's because we know how to make tools, and regardless, if I get stuck with a bear and I don't have my tools with me, yep,
I'm
you're
fucking
right,
dead.
I'm fucked. But I'm fucked. But guess what? I realize that, right? We have a brain to operate. We know how to use sticks. We know how to use things. We've developed weapons. And I'm like, it's not as simple as just because the animal's defenseless. That animal still has fucking tools that it could use. Its nose. Deer can smell you from forever away. You leave a scent trail. You don't put, you put descenting on, which is basically smells like grass. I'm like, the hear is way better than you could ever fucking hear. Just because you have a gun in your hand does not mean you're going to kill something that day or at all. Right. And I just used to crack me up. And like I said, and it's the honor of the animal that you're taking. You knew for a fact when you did that what it was. You know what I mean? Like it hit me when I did it, and it really hit me because he told me, he goes, you have to eat the heart, raw or whatever. And I was going to fucking do it. I didn't care. Like, I was like fucking all gung ho about it. But like, I watched this on movies as a kid. I thought this was right as patches. Man, when you killed an animal, you'd be part of the animal. And what I hit it at, and that's when he rolls it over, cuts it, and we start pulling everything out. He goes, well, that right there is a part of the lung. That right there is the other part of the lung. And the heart's gone. I go, what? He goes, Robbie, from 180 yards, you fucking hit her heart dead square, a double lung, single heart shot, and then there's no heart left. It
exploded, yeah.
It basically just, and that's why she was done so quick too. I didn't have to go slit her throat, but I had respect for the animal. I wanted to fucking end it as fast as I could. I didn't want her suffering. If she would have kicked whatever, I was going to fucking cut her throat and just lay there with her until she was dead. I envisioned this in my head like a fucking savage. Like it's just all I wanted to do. I wanted to end this animal's, if I did shoot it, to end it as fast as possible. Yeah. So he's laughing, fuck with me, and he fucking takes a handful of blood and just throws it on my face and goes, whap! And I'm like, you feel proud. But I realized when I got to that point, that animal I took, that I harvested, I'll call it harvesting. I don't give a fuck what you say. I didn't kill an animal. I harvested. That animal was put here on this planet to me to eat. There's no other premise. I'm an apex predator. I eat meat. Fuck it. That's what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. But it gave its life up for what? To provide for my family. I basically put almost, once we mixed it, I think we mixed it with a hamburger, like some of the things for a ground up hamburger mixed with the deer, venison and shit like that. I basically saved myself like 2 months worth of grocery bills on meat.
Wow.
I mean, she was a big
so much
bitch.
meat comes off of one animal. It's crazy.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. Like, people are like, well, why are you going to hunt? I'm like, because if animals get overpopulated, they get diseases. They communicate diseases. They're not designed to have a fucking herd of 5,000 sit next to each other, especially deer. They get Lyme disease. They get chronic waste disease, which is a thing, and where their bones and muscles are wasting away. I mean, this shit happens to these animals, and if you don't take care of those herds, because guess what? We're the ones that were the alpha predators. We're the ones that limited the predators.
If we automatically remove ourselves from being the apex predator, guess what? Something's going to take our place.
Well, yeah, and not only that, but
like the wolf population. So like in LA, dude, their shit was bad at one point, bro. They came in, they killed
coyotes.
The coyotes. That's what coyotes. That shit was bad, dude. They murked everything.
Well, back at even
because it was bad as fuck out there, dude. It was
so
bad.
Look at the history of the
like wolves are crazy, man. Wolves, man. I'm telling you, until you see one like in real life, like everybody see, like if you've been to a zoo and they have wolves, you're like, okay, that's like a domestic.
I've held one, a baby.
I'm sure you have, and it was probably the size of Kira. or
It
probably the
was
size
crazy.
and they're and there's a reservation that I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in fucking probably Wyoming or some shit where you can go there and hang out with a bunch of other wolves and stuff like that, and they're like halfway domesticated, but they're not. They're still big old giants, and they come up, they lick you, and they're all buddy.
65 pounds, 180
They
pounds.
are monsters, and it just puts things in perspective. You're like, oh shit, like. We are not the apex. Like, we are knowledgeable. We know how to do this. But I tell you what, when you're surrounded by fucking 6 of those bad boys, guess what, dude?
This is what makes you apex.
Right. It's just the ability, the comprehension,
to stay out of danger, put yourself in danger, or to be able to dominate or learn or progress past the animal you're facing.
Right. What's one thing in nature that's never changing? Or what's the one thing that every species what they want? What's the one thing?
Survival.
Right. Survival of the fittest.
And it cracks me up because
that's it. It's
people go, well, this animal's trying to survive. I go, you really think the animal gives a fuck about you? Like, no. You really think that there's any situation that animal is going to see you walking in the street and go, polar bear's going to be sitting there walking by, and the polar bear's going to be like, yeah, dude, he's cool, bro. He's probably got a family.
You watched that Schultz guy.
He's like, probably,
you saw that same shit.
You got a family, bro. Like, I start dying.
I'm going to have a bottle of Coke.
Yeah, with my nephews. This motherfucker go by. I'm like,
Alex Schultz, I think his name is.
Something like that, bro. And that bitch was trying to, it's a murder or whatever. I was like,
it's like, okay, man, whatever, dude. Like, come on, bro. Like,
that's the reality of it, though. I mean, that is the truth.
It's very true. It's very true.
You're fucking, no offense, Kira loves you.
I'm sure she does.
But I guarantee if you fucking died in here and no one knew about it for like a week, I would find parts of you fucking missing because she would eat you because she's a survivor.
She wouldn't know.
At one point, she's like, well, I got to eat something. Here we go, right? Because you hear about that shit happen all the time where people have heart attacks and their dogs eat them. They find, basically half-eaten cadavers. You're like, what the fuck? Well, the people died. No one came to the house and Fido got hungry. Right?
Yeah, right.
But look, they reintroduced wolves into Yellowstone, I think 30 years ago, 20, something like that in the 90s.
And now they're fucking taking over that shit.
They're so fucking populated now that they literally are starting to hunt them again because, like, we fucked up. There's too many here, and there's not enough, and they're literally fucking up the landscape because they're overeating everything.
Nature, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Nature is a motherfucker.
And that's the bad part.
Okay? Not Mother Nature. She's, no. Nature is a motherfucker.
We protect the species because we feel bad because we put it to the brink of extinction. We reintroduce a species and go, well, you know what? If we were never around, it would take care of itself. Then we turn around and go, well, we were wrong on the thing about taking care of itself because guess what? These motherfuckers are taking over and they're fucking up all the buffalo, all the elk, everything. They're just diminishing populations head and fist because nothing's there to stop them. Yeah, we are. So now they're being hunted again. And that's one thing as a hunter, I won't call myself like a hunter, traditional hunter, but the feeling that I can kill something for premise of food or eating. The only thing I can ever say to myself is and I've said this before, I don't think I'd have a huge problem trying to kill another predator. Like for me, we're on equal playing fields. Like I said, without a weapon, I'm not shit to them or nothing. But now if a fucking bear's coming at me, charging at me, I have a fucking a gun in my hand. I'm shooting the shit out of the bear. Hopefully I live, right? But I'm saying right. I'm not the kind of person would try to hunt a bear or a wolf or a cougar. To me, I think it's we're on equal playing fields. It should be equal respect. The other people will do it, and I get it, and that's fine. I'm not judging you. But when you have situations like your overpopulation, like that fucking little girl, little girl out in L.A. the other day, fucking cougar grabbed her by the neck, tried to take it off with her. Dad fucking spooked it, and I think it just ended up getting the backpack. And that's fucking
some crazy shit.
Cougar ran the tree, and the fucking game warden had to come by and eliminate it. And you're like, fuck, man, like.
They don't give a fuck, man. No. They don't care. They don't give a shit who you are.
That fucker saw a little kid was like,
I'm hungry.
I'm bigger
than
you.
A little snack.
Yeah, I'm bigger than you. I can eat you, dude. Fuck you.
A little Scooby snack for later.
You and Dora the Explorer coming with me. Unfortunately, I got Dora, so you got no snacky. You got a bullet instead. But that's funny.
Well, that being said, nature is a crazy individual, and it's out of our control. It's totally out of our control. But
just like everything else, we have no control over everything. All you can do is be a good person and try to do everything right by everyone else around you. Love on your friends, love on your family. Be a good human. This is not a bragging purpose or anything, but the other day we got off of work. I'm in Vallejo, and we went to this place over there. There's a breakfast shop. They serve alcohol. We're working nights.
Good for them.
Right? What are we going to do when we get off? We're having breakfast and some liquor. End up leaving. I'm going downtown. We stop at 7-Eleven for a roadie. I got in the car, get in there, and this dude's walking towards me in socks. It's fucking 30 degrees outside. Go to get out. I see his socks again because he walked around the corner. Told my buddy, hey man, stop, pull over, turn around. I go, hey man, these are 13s. They're probably not gonna fit you, but at least your feet will have something to protect them from the whole cold ass ground. I gave my shoes. I went home fucking shoeless. Why? Does it make a difference? That dude made bad decisions. I don't give a fuck. It was a pair of fucking Vans. Is it gonna hurt something? No. I mean, you could do something kind for somebody at any point if you make the choice. Be a good human sometimes.
Right.
You don't always have to. I mean, like I said,
I can say that. I mean,
someone's begging for something all the time. You realize they're not doing better for themselves. That dude didn't ask for shit. I felt better about myself by doing that. You know what I mean?
that's good, and that's a good thing. That's a good trait to have, and I can totally respect that. But I mean, everybody has their thing. Everybody's a little different. I've helped out some people in the past too as well, but unfortunately, not everybody is not everybody is gonna you're not gonna be able to do it with every single person, because you have to kind of go from your gut and kind of judge the situation and go, this is what I want to do.
That one I knew. It was 7 o'clock in the morning. It was 30 degrees outside, and you had no socks.
But I got you.
You know what I mean? He didn't ask for shit. I just felt it. And when it comes out of that, I'll say this same thing. Girls, if you have a guy you put in the friend zone, he's having a really bad time. If he's really in the friend zone, suck his dick. Make him feel better about himself, and just tell him that's what it is. Because, we need this too, Just don't keep us in this friend zone for no fucking reason. Because when you're crying about your fucking boyfriend 30th fucking time to one of us, and we're going, oh, you fucking bitch, I'm here right now, but you cry about this motherfucker. Remember, we were there for you, and you didn't. Be there for us. Suck a dick one time.
Wow.
Not even sex. Just suck it. Even on a hand job. Hey, little handy. Help him out. Go, hey, bud.
I'm really glad you're going to end it on that note. This has been DNA Talks. I'm your host, Derek Phelps. The wonderful Robbie Ramirez out in the building. Thank you for coming out. Always enjoy your company. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Show me your love. Leave some comments. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys next time, all right? You guys have a good one.
Deuces. I had to do something funny, bro.